Join two sisters who explore the couples that fandoms adore. We write their stories in the night in the glow of computer light. Eyes connect, clothing flies in our head, canon love never dies. Space looks that leave us pining in deep forums. We are mining for this journey. Better strap in because we all know that shit happens.
Welcome to the podcast that explores the couples fans can't stop dreaming about from the pop culture you love. Because when it comes to non-corporeal evil triangles, we're in deep
ship.
Deep ship.
I was like, when do I start talking? We're your host. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Emily.
She likes nerd culture.
And she likes making podcasts, so we thought we'd join forces to make a podcast that gives a glimpse into fandoms and their favorite ships.
So send us the ships you want to hear about, whether they're your favorite or ones that you just can't figure out, or the one that almost tore your fandom apart, and we will cover them. You can send those to shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. And we will bump you right to the top of the list. I mean, we're thirsty for ideas because literally the idea for today came from a bathroom wall.
Right, yeah. Submitted by the universe.
It was actually a very relevant bathroom. Like, oddly specific to my life.
And for this ship, it works.
It does. It's spooky.
All about, like conspiracy and like secrets. Before we get into that, we have some shipping news.
Ship news.
Rachel, have you seen anything about the new Avatar: The Last Airbender drama?
No, not
Has
at all.
Has that crossed your path
No.
at all? Okay.
I literally know nothing about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm sorry. Father, forgive me for I have sinned.
Okay, so what it is, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a very good cartoon kids show, a bad live action movie, and then I think an okay live action TV series. I haven't seen that one. But it means a lot to people who grew up with it, but it's been 10-ish years, right, since it's come out.
Okay.
And we're all about nostalgia these days.
Oh, yes.
So Paramount is making a sequel animated movie. So it's the same characters, but they're old now, or they're adults. They're grown up. And I think it was going to be released in October, but it got leaked because some guy at Paramount just typed an email wrong and just emailed it to just some civilian, some rando, I think.
Like the script or the whole video? The
whole movie, the completed movie.
Well, that's a big whoopsie. Yeah. Which something similar happened to me. I have to tell. Did I tell you about this? The other Rachel?
Oh, yeah. Mom told me about this. Yeah. You're getting job offers for somebody else.
For somebody else with the same name, but slightly different email address. So it can happen.
But that means they were using Gmail. I don't send work emails to people who aren't in my, that's not an at my work.
That's actually a very fair point.
Right. So this guy, he publishes it because he's I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal. So now this movie's online and people are upset about it. But so, everybody now gets a chance to look at what do these beloved childhood cartoon characters look like as adults. And it is so hot.
Well, would it be anything else?
They are all so ripped. So I have an example here.
Oh, yeah. Look at them. And they were just little dweeby kids, weren't they?
Yeah. They were. And also, why aren't they wearing shirts? Here's another one.
Well, you can't bend air with shirts on. The characters are all grown up just like the audience, and the audience was abs.
Well, that's what people are saying. It's I had a crush on this character as a kid. Now I'm old, and that's weird. But here they are as adults. Crush is back. And it's not weird. But, so yeah, like I said, it's revitalized everyone's childhood crushes, but it's also reigniting the shipping conversations and the shipping discourse. So I, on my Instagram, have gotten all these reels about Kang versus Zutara. And this is the kind of drama I love where I've seen most of the show. So I have enough knowledge to follow the drama, but I'm not invested.
Yeah, you don't actually
so this
care.
is like perfect. Yeah. So the canon couple is Kang, so Katara and Aang. I am on record opposed to this ship.
Yeah, I was like, we've talked about this before in a ship of a week.
Yes, I didn't have like I don't have a one I prefer. I just don't like this one.
Yeah.
I think the maturity level is a bit too different in the show to make like sense in real life, but I mean, it's not real life, so whatever. But like I said, I feel like Aang is too childish, but some of the discourse has pointed out that allows Katara to maybe be more silly and playful.
Like,
she's been parentified her entire life. So, there's that. That's like kind of the pros or cons. And I watched this as an adult, so maybe it hits different when you're actually like a kid. And then the contender is Zutara, or Zuko and Katara. And Zuko, that's the Prince of the Fire Nation, who spends the first season tracking Aang and the gang, trying to capture the Avatar. So the detractors say like people just want a enemies to lovers story, like they're just kind of forcing one in there. But also the big critique is that it's colonizer/colonize, which is problematic. But I do feel that ignores one of the best redemption arcs out there that Zuko experiences completely like on his own. He just sees the world and like gets better.
Okay.
Eventually joining the gang, helping them beat his evil dad and sister, becoming the new like Fire Lord with the help of Katara in the group, where he dismantles the systems of oppression. So I feel like, he does the work himself and he gets to a place where it's
it's not like he's
there.
expecting her to do the work or like she's leading him through it. He's like growing as a character, and then maybe they come together.
Yes. But I have a ship I would like to throw in the ring from the first half of the season that I watched. So, right, I don't like Katara with Aang. What about Katara and Suki? I just think they'd be like power couple kicking ass. So that's my contribution to the discourse.
Yeah, make a TikTok right now, a reel. Get out there, breaking news.
It's like old news, but it's been reheated.
Yeah, maybe when the movie officially comes out, we'll watch it and we can cover it.
Yeah.
Add it to the list. Add it to the bathroom wall.
So, yeah, the TV show we're talking about today, a different beloved animated kids show, Gravity Falls.
Ooh.
So, yeah, just to show how desperate we're getting, Rachel saw this ship graffitiing on a bathroom stall. And now we're doing an episode.
Should I talk about it or should I save that for my experience? No, I'll talk about it now because I went to a bathroom at a restaurant. And I see on the restaurant wall, on the bathroom wall, because like the whole restaurant is like filled with graffiti. It's like their thing. They want you to write on the walls. And I go to the bathroom and I see Bakudeku. And I was like, "Aw, that's cute." So I take a picture and I send it to Emily. And then I see underneath it is like a little column. Like there's like a sign-up sheet. And it said, "Where are my Billford shippers at?" And like somebody wrote their user handle underneath it or something. I don't know. But I was like, Billford. Like I feel like I've seen that come up in my research of ships, but I didn't know anything about it. So I was like, hey, let's do this next. The universe is telling us. The bathroom wall is telling us. And it's a very beloved ship or contested. I don't know. It's a controversial ship for sure.
It's up there. I saw it while looking it up on the like Tumblr list of top ships on Tumblr. When I initially Googled it, I was like, yeah, I'd heard of this. I'd seen this. But yeah, we'll get more into that. So what is Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls, like I said, kids cartoon. It started airing on Disney in 2012. It was created by a guy named Alex Hirsch. So it's kind of like he's like the creator and like, mind behind it. Although I'm sure he, had help. And he has a twin sister, which will be relevant. He also voices a lot of the characters. So he voices Stan, Seuss, and then Bill. It ended after 2 seasons of 40 episodes, so 20 each. And that was by choice of the creator, who said that the story had come to an end. He said it's not canceled, it's finished. So he kind of wrapped, he did what he needed to do. Which I feel like is the way to go.
Yes. A round of applause for Alex because it's like sometimes you just got to have the cojones to stick to the story, tell the story you want to tell, and step away from the money.
It was the highest rated show on Disney when it was airing, and it won 2 Emmys. And then, Disney's going to milk that cash cow. So besides the TV show, there are shorts, there's specials, there's books, there's websites supplemental to this world, which of course the dedicated fans have devoured. So the kind of vibe I'm getting from the fan base is that it's like consists of the kids who watched the show when it was coming out who have like grown up. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, and I think, they're picking up new people, and I watched it. I'm an adult. But it seems to be like, as you grow up, the like adult jokes start to hit different. And I feel like there's you watch the show, you relate to the 12-year-old, twins, Dipper and Mabel. Then maybe as you get older, you relate to Wendy, then Seuss, and then finally Grunkle Stan, the 60-year-old Grunkle.
That's how I feel
Great
inside
uncle.
every day.
Yep. Relatable. As I mentioned, the twins, the show's about 12-year-old twins, Mabel and Dipper, who spend the summer with their great uncle or grunkle, Stanford Pines, so Grunkle Stan, in the small town of Gravity Pines, Oregon. Grunkle Stan is a con man and like a fraud in general, and he runs the Mystery Shack, which is a tourist trap mystery museum full of phonies and frauds. Which is like ironic, and kind of the joke of the show is that while the Mystery Shack's all scams, the woods in the town surrounding the Mystery Shack and Gravity Falls.
That's what I was going to say. Wow, their last name was also the last name of the town they were in? I missed that.
No. But anyway, the woods and the surrounds, chock full of ghosts and zombies and gnomes and time travelers and all kinds of creepy, paranormal, wacky monsters. And which are all very, very real. So, of course, the kids, get wrapped into all these adventures, and they're able to navigate the spooky happenings with the help of a journal Dipper finds that includes research notes from someone who spent a lot of time researching and documenting the, paranormal beings of Gravity Falls. So
yeah, and it's kind of like a magical beast and where to find them, right? It's got the catalog of all the
field guide,
yeah, and then every episode is kind of exploring a new creature.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that, like a monster of the week.
I love a monster of a week. I don't need a big overarching storyline. I'm just like, I like to see something spooky and cool. I don't like when these things get personal, which it does kind of happen later, but. Mm-hmm. Like the
whole first season,
supernatural, really spun off.
Yeah. It always starts to get too wacky. Like X-Files, Scully's pregnant with an alien baby.
I didn't know that. Uh-oh.
Oh, it happens, yeah. Maybe twice.
Classic. Female character must be pregnant. Never Mulder gets an alien pregnant,
No. Maybe it ran for a long time. But I feel like we've talked about a few shows where the creators have encouraged the fans to go over the show with a fine-tooth comb for hints and clues, what's happening, what's real, and they end up just writing a bill they can't cash.
I can think of 2 off the top of my head.
Yes. Right.
One we've talked about, 2 we've talked about recently.
They've been very recent, very similar episodes and ships. But it's kind of refreshing. I feel like this show actually delivers, because there are hints and clues and actual codes written drawn into the background of scenes. Or I watched it, you watched some of it, did you catch the codes in every credits?
No, there was codes in the credits.
Yeah, I noted every credits there was with the names, there would be a slide that would just be a bunch of random letters, and I'm like, I bet that's something.
Oh.
I bet that's a code. I should have looked it up. I don't know what any of the codes were. But yeah, there was actual hidden messages. So
well, that's really cool.
I think it was neat, actually. Yeah, well thought out. And then it adds to the spooky, eerie vibes of the show for those smart enough to figure out what the hints are and what the lore is. And then even after the show ended, the creator set up a international scavenger hunt /ARG, so alternate reality game that included ciphers and codes and a giant jigsaw puzzle that led people eventually to the real life statue of one of the characters in the show hidden in the woods of Oregon.
Which character?
Oh, which one?
I don't know.
It was Bill.
Oh, of course. Of course. I was like, it's either Bill or it's Ford. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
They didn't put Mabel out there.
No, there's a real life statue of Bill out there. And there's a picture of this statue in the season finale. So he was actually like setting it up in the season finale.
Oh, wow.
And there is a picture in the book of Bill, which was published in 2024. And I'm going to talk about it a lot, so I wanted to include it in here. But it's kind of like a multimedia fourth wall breaking book from the perspective of the antagonist of the show, which is Bill Cipher. And it goes into Bill's history, his perspective on the events of the show, and even what happened after. And it's cute. It does a lot of fun stuff with formatting that was kind of nostalgic. I feel like as a kid, you would get books that would have like phony magazine articles in them or things that are like interviews but set up like a newspaper or something.
Well, okay, that also has an adult version because I read something that was considered quote unquote literature with a capital L, where an entire chapter was like PowerPoint slides. And I was like, this doesn't quite translate to the audiobook version that I was listening to. But cool.
Yeah. I think it also felt like reading like a 17 magazine too, because like each page, like they're so colorful, and each page has like pictures everywhere and different formatting, and like there was a quiz, but it's like a jokey quiz.
Oh, okay.
So it was cute, but yeah, I did read it. I wanted to bring that in because I'm gonna be referencing it quite a bit.
Yes, which I didn't even know that thing existed. So.
Yep, I'm glad I found it. So, yeah, when Rachel texted me initially the picture of this graffiti, I Googled it, and I saw that triangle, and I was like, okay, I've seen this. I've seen this triangle around.
Yeah, you've been on Tumblr.
I was like, I've seen this old man in this triangle, although I had the old man confused. I'd seen the meme, I'd fire you all if I could, which is from the first episode. And I knew people liked it. I knew it had like a spooky small town vibe, which I like, and Kristen Shaw's in it. So I watched the whole thing for this podcast, even though the two characters don't really show up in a lot of it, or the two characters we're going to talk about aren't in much of it. But, you know, I was like, I don't want to deny myself something I think I'll like. So
yeah,
I did watch it. It was cute. Got it from the library.
Good for you.
Yep.
Deny that money to Disney.
Yeah. No, I'm not paying Disney. Right. Halfway through season 1 when neither of the main characters had shown up. So I was expecting, because I thought the old man was Stan. And then I realized
it was confusing.
Stan and not Ford. Yeah. So I was like, wait a minute. I'm halfway through season 1. I'm like, where are either of these characters? So I Googled Gravity Falls. When does the triangle show up? But it autofilled to Gravity Falls. When does it get good? Which I felt was mean.
Yeah.
I was like, it's good. It's cute. But the triangle shows up in the second to last episode of season 1. So made it all the way through that.
Yeah. You had to wait a while, but
yeah.
Then things picked up.
I'm glad I did. It was still good.
Yeah.
And then while researching, I kept seeing people cite the Book of Bill. And since this is actually secretly a book podcast, yes. I went to the library and got a copy of that.
Wow.
So I read that as well.
That is going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Emily, here's a gold star sticker, and I am giving it to you. That's
podcast extraordinary.
I know. That's almost, I mean, it was no Wuthering Heights, but, we'll give it to you.
True.
But you also did watch the entire show. So that's pretty cool. And I'm glad you did, because this was one I just did not have as much time to devote to it as I would have wanted. And I know I have watched it at some point in the past. Like, it has been on my TV. It was all so familiar. It must have been something. The show itself must have been on Hulu at some point, because Disney owns Hulu. So sometimes they swap out what of their Disney shows are on there. And I watch Bob's Burgers on repeat. So it might have came up as a suggestion because of that, or like auto played after, because sometimes I just get weird shows that pop on after Bob's while I'm sleeping. So it could have been doing that, but I think I tried to watch it, if I can recall. Tried to watch it, kind of fizzled out. Like it was like a background type show. But in watching it now, I really did like it. It was cute, and I wish I had had more time to give it a proper go. I like the premise is something that definitely speaks to me, as we talked about. I like a monster of the week. And I feel like it was really well done for the age demographic it was aimed at, right? It was like edgy and like cool enough without being overly intense, right? So I mean, it was not quite like adult level. I thought it wasn't quite as engaging as some adult animation, but I thought if I was 12 when watching it, I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome. But as an adult, like I can just put on Rick and Morty and kind of get like the full strength version. This felt like Rick and Morty for kids.
You're talking about how like some of it was more adultish or not like super childish. Parts of it were genuinely spooky or like creepy.
Yeah, maybe I didn't see those because I just watched the pilot to get like a taste of it. And then I watched the Bill episodes and the Stanford episodes and then like Weirdmageddon. So I didn't watch all of it. Also had technical difficulties in playing it. So some of the mediums in which I was able to watch it were not like the most engaging. So I kind of blame that too.
Oh, right. Okay, so I gave a little rundown of like the plot, the main characters, Maple, Dipper, Grunkle, Stan. So now we're going to talk about the ship. Forget all that, not important.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
literally
the characters we're talking about here.
Nothing to do with it. So who matters? Tell me about these characters.
These are the two that matter. We have Stanford, parentheses, or whatever, Ford, Pines. So I said the previous people matter. I said Stanford. This is different one. There's two Stanford. So this is not the Grunkle who runs the Mystery Shack. Turns out Grunkle Stan's actually a twin, like the main two twins of the show. Runs in families. His original name is Stanley. His twin is Stanford. And Stan took over his identity when Ford was lost into a portal to another dimension or multi-dimensions. I'm unsure what he did in there. But Ford had built it in the basement of the Mystery Shack, which was then just a regular shack. So while he's lost, Stan, takes over his identity, creates the Mystery Shack, and then repairs the portal with the help of the journals, the mysterious journals, to bring Ford back. And the reason he needs the journals is because Ford is the author.
What?
The mysterious author. I know, for all 1.5 seasons, it's been a mystery. Now we know. So he's a genius. He's got many college degrees, and he's been in Gravity Falls researching the paranormal until he was lost in the portal for 30 years.
Wow, that is a long time to be lost.
Adventuring.
Oh, he was adventuring. Yeah. Okay, I thought he was just floating.
I think there's books about what he was up to. He seemed to be like hopping from dimension to dimension. Just, I don't know, figuring it out.
Wow, that sounds exhausting.
Yes. So he has 6 fingers on each of his hands, which has inspired him to be interested in anomalies, which is what drove him to, brought him to Gravity Falls to research the paranormal. He's brilliant, but he's very closed off, and he's not trusting. Being pushed into a portal by your estranged brother will probably do that to you.
Wait, Stan
pushes him into the portal.
Why? Well, apparently
they're fighting.
I missed a lot. Also, why did he take his identity? I didn't understand that bit either.
So he's trying to hide his journals. He's like shutting the portal down. He needs Stan's help. Why did he need? I don't know. He needs Stan's help. They get into a fight because they're estranged. They have like bad blood. Mm-hmm. And then I think he kind of like he shoves him. He falls into the portal. It's like an accident. I don't think he meant to be like, die, brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna Mufasa you.
Yeah. And then he takes his identity because Stan's such a scam artist that he's got like the heat on him.
Oh, okay.
He's got people out for him. So he takes Ford's identity and like settles down and becomes a professional scam artist.
There you go.
At the Mystery Shack.
And somebody thought that they were going to send their two 12-year-olds to live with him for a summer. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not gotten into. The twins' parents aren't really
Unimportant.
Yeah, we don't need, it's just a thing that happens. You kicked your kids out for a summer. So wrong one. Ford shows up really in the back half of the second season, but there's like really, really subtle hints throughout the series. Yeah, so he shows up, they fix the portal, he comes out through the portal. It's a very cool entrance. He's got like with his trench coat and his gun and stuff. He's very kind of like swashbuckling. He's very like competent, and because you're right, the whole show has a bunch of mysteries, and he's like the master of the mystery. He knows all about them.
Yeah.
So it's like a very cool, mysterious vibe when he shows up, because he's the author of these journals that have been extremely relevant and important to the plot for the whole series. And he has all this knowledge, but he's very close-lipped about it. And he clearly has secrets he's not sharing due to the aforementioned trust issues. But like also he's like very much, he has issues with Stan, obviously still, but he's like pretty immediately like, yeah, these are my like niece and nephew. He's cool with the kids pretty quickly. And he likes Dungeons and the Dragons stand. It's like Dungeons and Dungeons and Dungeons or something in the series. And he bonds with Dipper, who is like more invested in the mysterious and things. They kind of are kindred souls, and he wants Dipper to be his assistant. And they have like a cute bond.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing is that apparently Ford is very sexy. Like he was apparently very sexy to the children, that he did something for a lot of people back in the day. Especially.
But not as sexy as Stan, apparently.
Oh, really?
There was a poll on Tumblr for like sexy man. Stan won last year.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Mm-hmm. I personally didn't see it for either of them, but there was a scene because they also wear like 70s clothes, and I guess that's what Gen Z is into now. But he's like a deep V-neck, and people were like, woo, going crazy for Ford's deep white V-neck like party outfit. And then also when he came through the portal, like, wah-bah. People are like, oh, hello, puberty.
Very debonair.
And the other half of the ship is Bill Cipher, who is not a character I fully have my mind wrapped around. So this should be interesting as I try to describe him.
Yeah. So I put in the script just a rascal, a mischievous fellow, a funny little guy, because that's what he describes himself as in the book. So that is a quote.
Oh, okay. Which is a little interesting because he like murdered everybody in his dimension.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
he is a demon, as like lack of a better word, right? From another dimension, which is like he calls the nightmare dimension. He burned the whole thing to the ground, and he wants to come into the kids' dimension, which is technically the third dimension, right? Which is odd because it's a 2D animated show.
Well, yeah, his dimension was 2D, but he could see past that. So he like was aware of a third and fourth, I guess. So he was ambitious and somehow I don't know if you have like the whole story, but he destroys his own dimension, his own 2D dimension, and then ends up in the nightmare dimension, which is collapsing in on itself because it's too chaotic.
Oh, okay. Yes, so that's how he ends up there. And he's trying to get here, I guess, because he has to get out of the nightmare dimension. And he has to, like, you can summon him through the book. There's a way to summon him. And when he shows up, he, like, tries to manipulate you into helping him achieve his goals, which is mainly bridging the dimensions so he can rule ours with his henchmaniacs, since his temporary home in the nightmare world is collapsing. And what he looks like, for anyone who's not aware, he's literally a triangle. He is a 2-dimensional triangle with a single eye. You think of the Illuminati, think of the back of the dollar bill, the all-seeing eye.
The Freemasons, yes.
Yes, but then he's approachable. He like jazzes it up, makes it a little bit more absurd, because he's also wearing a little dapper top hat and bow tie. And he has little stick figure arms and legs that he uses to go around and pull teeth from animals, forest animals, and all kinds of things like that. And he shows up into the last episode of season 1, where like a little minor enemy was summoning him to try to get a lot of people wanted to marry this 12-year-old girl. Like, I didn't watch a lot of episodes, but I would say a considerable
That is
amount.
like a 2 for 2. Yeah. Because the first episode, the gnomes want to marry her.
On season 1 of all the episodes I watch, 100% of them involve somebody trying to marry a 12-year-old. Well, he is not important because all he did was he was the stooge. The Rube stooge who pulled this guy out of the tube and brought him into our dimension to wreak havoc. And he comes in and he is quite the character, right? Emily, tell me what you thought about him when you first saw him.
So, yeah, the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, yeah, I bet this guy, like, did numbers on Tumblr. Yeah, I bet he was big on there. Because he's a bad guy, but he's kind of, like, charming about it. He's witty, he's funny, he's got puns, he's got jokes. He's irreverent.
That's
right?
the word
like,
I was trying to think of earlier. Yeah, which the internet loves.
Right. I feel like there's, like, a precedent for that.
He kind of reminded me of Moriarty, like a little bit, like a little bit kooky.
Yeah. Yes, right. Yeah, kooky, a kooky villain.
That where the kookiness is like madness, and it makes him a little bit scarier.
But yeah, he is just a villain. He is irredeemable. He's bad.
And that is consensus in the fandom as well, including Billford shippers, where like not a lot of people think that he can come back from life.
It's just how he is. Yeah.
They're not looking at a like redemption arc when you're looking at the fanfic.
No, it's how messed up can this get?
Yes.
But before it gets messed up, we have our meet cute or get the boot. So how do they meet? They don't really interact in the show very much until like the 4-part finale called Weirdmageddon, but they do know each other. So Bill is summoned in season 1 with a ritual that is recorded in one of Ford's journals, and it says like, do not do this, but if you're gonna do it, this is how you do it, which seems like you would,
He's like, I must record it for posterity, but don't do it.
Don't ever do it. Do not summon. So he gets, summoned out of the journal. Ford knows a lot about Bill when he returns from the multi-dimensions, wherever he was, and how he operates. And then he knows what to do to protect his family when he starts having like nightmares about Bill. Bill starts showing up in his dreams to threaten him. So not a good relationship, seems problematic, but also there's just triangles everywhere. There's triangles with eyes hidden in the backgrounds of like tons of episodes throughout the whole series. And they're especially in scenes with the mystery shack where this guy used to live. So it's like, if you have this relationship, this antagonistic relationship, why'd you put him in your house? Like, why is he decorating?
Yeah, why are you decorating the house with the image of your like worst enemy?
Yeah, right? And then this all kind of comes to a head when Dipper discovers like a shrine to Bill in Ford's office. So Dipper uses a memory reading device on Ford and reveals that Ford has made a deal with the nightmare demon himself, shook his hand, let him into his brain, which then forces Ford to explain exactly how they know each other. So this is the setup for like the meet cute. Ford is deep in his research of paranormal happenings in Gravity Falls, but he's hit a dead end when he stumbles onto a ritual to summon a being with answers. That also says, here's a ritual, don't do this.
Yeah, don't ever do it.
What
also, who were the people who discovered the ritual? There was like it was like a cave. Weird. It was like a cave drawing.
Yeah, it's the like indigenous people of the place beforehand. Bill had dealings with them first. And then a shaman had a prophecy, saw a prophecy, put the prophecy on the wall, said don't do it, and then like pushed Bill out of the dimension.
Oh.
It seems...
That's a pretty powerful shaman, considering how the rest
I don't know if you can just rope shaman into your stories anymore.
Yeah, that's given a little bit Stephanie Meyer, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm going to co-opt indigenous peoples.
Right. And the prophecy's very corny. They think of a better way to take him down. But so he comes across this ritual. Out of desperation, he summons this being who then the next time he sleeps, Bill shows up in his dreams. And so when Bill introduces himself, he introduces himself as a muse that he picks like one brilliant mind every like century to aid. He can see potential futures and he sees Ford changing the world and he wants to help him. So he charms Ford and Ford allows him the free run of his mind. And then he guides Ford into the building of the portal, telling him that it's to complete his research. And that kind of gets him on his side. So that's like, it's kind of a meet cute.
Yeah, I think
ritual.
so.
They're like working together. They're friends.
I mean, that's how most abusers start relationships. They don't come in and start abusing. They come in and they like, they charm you, right?
Right. Which is what this is. Because we know, obviously, that from the jump, Bill was manipulating Ford. So in the book of Bill, when he feels himself being summoned, he wonders who would be doing that. He thinks an idiot, a genius. He's like, luckily for me, it's both. So he's able to clock right away that Ford is brilliant but lonely and insecure. And he is able to immediately like start making that work for him and manipulating Ford to get what he wants, which is just a physical body who can build a portal.
Right. And what was it that the creator said? He says that Ford needs to feel important and Bill preys on insecurity. So it's just like he found an easy target for what he needed to do.
It's kind of like Perfect Storm where he's smart enough and he has all the resources that he can like build this crazy portal thing, and he like needs the validation. And yeah, and the feel important and smart.
Right. Because he tells you like Bill tells Ford he's like the smartest person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are the genius mind. So,
yeah.
Feels good. Feels good to be acknowledged.
So that's how they meet. And how does it go from building a portal together to scheming to erase each other from existence? It gives very bitter divorce vibes.
It does. That's a big theme in the fandom, too.
Yes, it's personal. So we had the before times, the breakup, and then the like show the after times. So in the before times, so a lot of this is coming from the book of Bill. There's a whole like section that is pages that allegedly were ripped out of Ford's journals that he threw away. So this is all from the perspective of Ford.
Okay.
About his time with Bill running around in his head. So during this whole section, Ford refers to Bill as his muse, as in like, my muse is here. My muse said that, like he calls him his muse.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
That's not normal, right?
Yeah, that's a little
That's
beyond.
just not your pal.
Yeah, not your, buddy.
Your bud. Yeah. And he's very effusive about how great it is working with him. And then, yeah, he fills his house with triangles and it gets a little worshipy.
As it goes.
Yeah, very normal. There's a little scene where Bill is the only person who remembers Ford's birthday, which I think for an immortal interdimensional being is kind of impressive. Like, what's time to him?
Yeah, what is time to him? He remembers a special day. Aww.
So he does celebrate by spelling Ford's name on the porch with dead rats.
Interesting.
But, you know.
That's one way to do it.
It's one way to do it.
Hallmark doesn't have a card for that.
And then that night, they get drunk in Ford's dreams. And they do dream karaoke. And there's the journal entry is very like sloppy, like Ford's drunk while he's writing it. So he talks about the karaoke. He says one thing led to another. And then it's unclear what exactly that means.
Yeah, why is that in there?
So, yeah.
That's
people
like,
take this as like canon. That they were together.
They canonly hooked up. Which this is again in the dream. So question.
Yes.
Is he writing the journal in his dream? So why is he drunk writing the journal if the journal is reporting on a dream where he got drunk?
It was like drunk in the dream is drunk in real life. He woke up afterwards, wrote some down.
Oh, okay.
And then went to sleep again.
But then it also, if Bill doesn't have a physical form, how did he arrange rats on the front porch?
He possessed the rats.
Oh, okay. Thank you for answering that. Because I'm just piecing this all together.
Yeah.
Like a preteen in 2012.
Yep.
Okay. And then also in the dream where they're doing karaoke, he is still, in fact, a two-dimensional triangle.
I think, yes. I think there's a picture. I think the picture, he like draws a picture of him singing. No. He is a triangle.
And one thing led to another.
And one thing led to another. I think it means they got drunk together, but.
Yeah. But other people, the Billford shippers really hang their hat on that line.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know what these one things could lead to. What the other things to one things could lead to.
Right.
When you have a two-dimensional
they're
triangle.
doing karaoke. He is a triangle.
Which is like, also, talking about drinking and whatnot. This was a show that was on Disney. And so people were very surprised by some of the subject matter that was included in the Book of Bill.
Yeah. So the book on the front, it says travels to dimensions meant for older readers.
There you go.
And I picked it up from the library in the adult section. So
well, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I thought it was, I didn't even piece together it was the alcohol thing. I thought because it gets kind of dark. There's some like kind of icky stuff that happens. I thought maybe that was why it was
when the creator's not under the thumb of Disney, he can do whatever he wants.
It gets a little creepy, a little gross. But we're getting to that. That's later. So that was his birthday. There's also Ford talks about when Bill disappears for weeks at a time. Ford gets very anxious and he gets kind of insecure and he worries that he's with another scientist.
Oh no.
Yep. And then when he confronts Bill, when Bill shows up again, they have a fight. And then Bill is like clearly jealous of Ford's assistant friend, Fiddleford, and even calls him third wheeling, which is like very explicit.
Like
you don't third wheel people who aren't a couple.
Right.
Yeah. People interpret the book as basically confirmation that something went on with these two. Although maybe not necessarily romantic, but they were definitely more than just coworkers.
Yeah. It was like medium coworkers or whatever. It was definitely more than, but I don't even know how one has a romance with a triangle. So
that just exists in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all have romances in our brains, I guess, that never come to fruition. So, been
that
there
almost makes
for
it better because you're not like physically with a triangle.
Right. You just, I don't want to go there. Never mind. Continue.
So those were the good times. So now we get into the breakup. So Ford's assistant, Fiddleford, gets a glimpse into a portal. There's a snafu and he kind of takes a dip and he sees that the portal is actually connecting to the nightmare dimension. So this kind of blows Bill's plan to pieces. So yeah, he tells Ford about what's up with the portal. Ford's very betrayed, hides his journals. He tells Bill he's shutting it down. He's ending his plans. And Bill says, go ahead. It'll be fun to watch you try. Cute even.
Oh.
Which I thought the cute was. And then in the book, this is the part where it gets pretty kind of horrific because while Ford does what he can by hiding the journals and shutting the portal down, Bill can still possess him whenever he sleeps. So it's a lot of Bill like in his body doing stuff, hurting him, that kind of stuff, which is like kind of, ooh.
Yeah, that is spooky.
It's not nice. And so Ford's determined to kill Bill. So there's some moments during this portion of the book. So during the back and forth, Bill possesses some corpses and then Ford's like shooting them. And during this kind of, I feel like it's kind of like what you were saying with like their dynamic and what like how Bill is an abuser. He says, nobody gets you. Without me, you'll always feel unseen, surrounded by dolls who don't recognize your true potential. Even if you got rid of me, you'd miss me. Admit it, you'd miss me. To which Ford says, I have missed you, but my aim's getting better. Ooh. And then he shoots the portal. He shoots the last corpse.
That's pretty good. And that was in the book?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, which is funny too, because it's like, is he saying this stuff to like, he's using, again, is he saying stuff that's like kind of true or that he thinks is true, or is he just saying what he thinks would get to Ford the most? Right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And in that same exchange, he says, admit it. You love how important I make you feel. And I love having a pet human in my pocket.
Aww.
So that's kind of the right what they're getting
from it.
From this dynamic, this relationship.
Yes. Yeah. Which again is nothing super healthy.
No, it's not good. It is, but yeah, like I say, it's a very bad breakup. Eventually, Ford is able to block Bill by putting a piece of metal into his head. And then in the book, once Ford goes AWOL into the portal, Bill says he is not affected and he doesn't care at all. And to prove it, he went to a bar and got drunk and cried.
Yes.
So.
And tried to call his dead mom. You saw that. So Bill is got some feelings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So clearly, like important to him. And maybe not even just a regular schemey kind of way.
But like he cared about him. Well, and also the show itself didn't do a lot of explaining about the metal in the head thing. So that's good that they gave a little bit more context to that. Because he was just like, yeah, Bill can't get me. King, king, king. And I was like, are we going to explain that or no? The answer was no.
No. He picks it up sometime in his multi-dimensional travels. Where he's maybe purposely seeking Bill out. He's trying to kill himself. I think that
if you're in an interdimensional portal, like go look for your interdimensional boyfriend or ex.
Yeah. Bring it to him. Yeah.
Bring that. He isn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to the events of the show. So Forge Bill is able to bridge the dimensions and cause Weirdmageddon, where he takes over just the town of Gravity Falls. He's not able to spread.
Yeah, I saw that. It was just the town.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, Ford saves the town. Do you know what that's referencing?
I keep seeing it, but I don't remember like the context.
I think he sleeps with Bill to save the town in some kind of like animated short thing.
Oh,
or not? I don't know. I'm so far removed from the fandom that I don't know. That's just my piece together. I know that it's like an in joke.
Oh, so it's like a fan made.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he saves the town.
Yeah, in the show too, but in the the different series of events.
Oh, okay. I should have looked that up. But so yeah, the Ford Weirdmageddon's happening. Ford's with Dipper. He's like, I know how to stop him, and then he's immediately captured because it's a TV show.
Oh yeah,
can't make it too easy. But even though he's in Bill's grasp, Bill, who was like actively trying to murder some kids, doesn't have a problem with murder. Does he kill him? No. He keeps him around. When he turns the rest of the town into stone statues, he turns Ford into a gold statue. And then just kind of keeps him around to gloat. He does bring him back at one point because he wants to know how to get past the barrier so he can take over the whole world. He gives him a chance to join him. Offers a kind of a job offer there. When Ford refuses, he chains him up and tortures him, which I feel like maybe, did some things for some people.
Yeah, because when you look at Billford, like that's the picture you see. It's just like, I don't know. It's this show's Slave Leia, I guess.
Yeah.
And also there's like some business about a deleted scene where while Ford was frozen, Bill like picked up a deer and like made the deer and Bill kiss, or not Bill. Bill made the deer and Ford kiss, which was just odd. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but people were saying it was like a romantic thing. I'm like, okay.
I don't know. I thought there's a deleted scene where Ford spits in his eye, his single eye,
And he licks it.
and then he licks it off.
Which they probably just meant is like a weird way of clearing it, but then it definitely comes across different.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, it was deleted, so I guess Disney was like,
somebody was like, no, that's what?
Yeah. And then there's further evidence in the Book of Bill that I think brings the relationship from just like enemies to like something more. So in the Book of Bill, this is Bill's attempt post defeat to re-enter the dimension, restart his plans. So he creates this book that shows up in, I guess, our world, and it could go to anyone. It repeatedly shows itself to Ford first. So like,
Aww.
Let go. He's moved on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ford tries to get rid of it several times, but then it eventually ends up, I guess, with the reader is the like premise. And then in the getting to know Bill section, there's a spot about X's where someone has come in and scratched it out. So who's in there?
About
are your exes?
Interesting.
And then I feel like it's unclear whether Bill or Ford scratched it out because Ford, like, there's letters from him in the book, so maybe he's the one changing history.
Yeah, he's like, no, we never dated. We were never together.
Yeah. Ignore that. There's a dating advice section that includes locking your paramour in a love cage and singing songs to them until they, like, increasingly annoying songs until they eventually give in, which is what Bill does during Weirdmageddon. He traps Ford in his pyramid and is singing a song at him.
Oh.
So, like, he does do it. And then there is also, it says to give them Valentine's Day cards. Drop the Valentine's Day cards at their feet like cats drop dead mice at their owner's feet. And he says, or better yet, just give them some dead mice. Which sounds familiar.
That does. That sounds very familiar.
He seems like he's following his own plan here. And then at the end of the book, you get some cute letters from, like, the characters on the show. Maple calls Bill Ford's super needy ex, and then gives him some advice for getting over Ford, including cutting your hair or getting a crush on someone else's uncle. So, and then you added this,
yes.
Christian Saul.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw this video where there's the drawing that somebody on the show made of Bill and Ford kissing, and they were like auctioning it off, and it was like a video of Christian Shaw and the two dudes. I didn't know exactly who they were, and she was like, I support it, you know. She's like, I think Bill would be better for it. So that's where some of the evidence goes off the page and into real life.
And yeah, so you got Christian Shaw supports it. Why do people like it? So, I mean, it's not a ship where it's like, oh, we want them to be together. It's just more of a, we want confirmation that they were together.
Yes. We're just like, we believe that this happened.
Yeah. Because they do have a toxic ex's vibe, which, I mean, confirmed by the creator. He said he was inspired by, like, terrible breakups and, like, the fallouts is how he wrote their dynamic.
Yeah, and he even said, like, think of the worst person you know. And, like, that's kind of where he came up with for Bill. He's like, we don't know demons, but we all know bad people. So, kind of like that. But when it comes to, like, the kind of fic that people like it or, like, the reason that they like it, I learned a new term. And have you heard of this?
I've heard of yaoi.
Yes. Well, it's just called...
I know what it means.
Yeah, it's called toxic yaoi, which is just, I guess, like toxic men, loving men scenarios, which is just like people just like I guess it's interesting. It's exciting. Just kind of like that toxic spiral that they're in.
Compelling. Yeah. An old man yaoi too. Because Ford is he'd be in his 60s. And then Bill gives his age as like 1 trillion years old or something.
Of course.
You know. Yeah, he's immortal. But yeah, like also what fans like it. Yeah, people like passion. That's what we come back to over and over. Whether it's love or hate, it's like passion. And they have kind of a mutual obsession where Ford fills his house with triangles and there's like a kind of a worship thing going on there, which then that flips to hate after the betrayal. And Bill just like can't let him go.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ford, like he was super important to Ford, and then he saw the true colors, and he's like had to he like walked away from it. But then Bill was always downplaying the importance of Ford. But then when he left, he was he like you said, he can't let it go. It's just it is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, like even in the book, like still trying to reach out to him. So yeah, I think it's just compelling dynamic, and it's not something I think that comes up very often. Like I was trying to think of anything where there is like the hero and the villain or exes, where the villain is never, you know, they don't get redeemed at all. Like the point isn't that they get back together. Like it's no.
Or like the ex is killed in the end. But also not something you would usually see explored in a kid's show. So it is interesting, to bring that to the Nickelodeon level, which is probably what appeals to them because it's, you know, it's not the spoon-fed easy stuff, right? Happy ever after. It's complex, and that's what adult relationships are.
Right. In a show that's mostly like you have kind of wholesome family dynamics. They have, right, rough patches, right? They're siblings, they fight, or Stan and Ford have a complicated relationship, but in the end, like, that's all gonna work out.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, for as many people who love it, there is also, I feel like, as many people who are very much against Billford, the ship.
Right. And the main criticism is, of course, toxic. It's bad. It's abuse. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it. Some people, that's the appeal. Some people, they just like, no, why would you engage? You know?
Right. They are.
They can't stomach it at all.
Even in fiction, it's too much. And, you know, we're all very therapized these days. So then the words groomers tossed around, like
Groomer.
Bill groomed Ford to like be in his abuse, like for him to continue to use him. And also, people think that this implies that like Ford isn't a genius; he's just gullible, right? He's just.
I bet that's almost like victim blaming, almost like smart people can be abused too. Like it's
right.
Yeah,
And
he went to school and stuff. Like there's no reason to think he wasn't smart, but you can be smart and also manipulated.
Yeah. And yeah, because you can have, everybody has weaknesses, and Bill used that weakness against him because Bill
Everyone
can go
has
in your head,
insecurity.
so he can find every single one. Okay, and so then here's my biggest criticism is that Bill is a 2D triangle, and I thought there was nothing remotely sexual or romantic about this character. He was just, I don't know. I watched it. I was waiting for something, a little spark or something. And I was like, no, maybe I wasn't a Tumblr teen, so I just don't get it.
Initially, this was my big hang up too. like he's a triangle. I'm surprised this isn't more of a, people don't have more of a problem with this.
Yeah. But apparently it's easy to get around. You just make him human, right? Or he takes a human form or something.
Yeah, if you want to go there.
But that's my criticism. And then you get into like all the like not so much criticism, but like the discussion around it. Is it canon? Is it non-canon? There's a lot of debate going on around that. People are still debating that all these years later.
And we kind of talked about that, how I think it was one thing, right, when the show ended, and then this book came out that like just gave you a lot of more info on their relationship and like Bill's perspective. But also, like, can you really believe anything in the book when Bill's a liar? Like, you know, is it all just him saying what he thinks he needs to say for you, the reader, to, like, let him back into the world?
Ooh, that is kind of spooky.
Yeah. So, right. And then is it romantic versus is it something else? So, yeah, that kind of the book coming out in the last couple of years, I think, kind of revitalized the fandom and the conversation and this ship, because this was not. I mean, Ford didn't show up until the second half of the second season. So this is like a late character to be adding to become this popular.
Oh, yeah,
ship.
definitely. And it's popular. It's got people's imagination stirring. So let's dig into the fan works around it.
So yeah, they'd be writing fan fiction. So we do our little scroll through AO3, see what's up. Gravity Falls, 37,000 fics on AO3 when you're logged in.
That is a lot. That's like we I feel like stumbled into this other world through the bathroom portal, because that is a lot. That is more than many. I think the vast majority of the ships we cover, of the fandoms we even cover.
And like scrolling on Tumblr and just like looking up like Billford and Gravity Falls, it's a lot of art too. I'm seeing like a lot of art, a lot of cartoons. I feel like I don't normally see like little comic strips of like the characters, like as I saw here for this ship.
Yeah, and even on TikTok, there were like animations. So they're making the cartoons, and also they're animating, and it looks almost like it could be the show, like at that level of ability. This definitely sparked a lot of creativity amongst folks, which is cool to see.
Yes. And some of that creativity is spent writing fics. So there are 3,300-ish Billford fics, which I think, right, that's because he was such a late addition, like, to the show.
Yeah.
So you have a whole season of people writing fics about other characters. It's not the most popular, the one that seemed to have the most numbers was actually not Dipper and Ford, Dipper and Bill, which was
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Dipper and Ford. That's disgusting. Sorry,
that's in there too. But Dipper. I'm not a huge fan, but
well, people probably identify more with the kid than they do the 6-year-old man. So
yes, right. Ford wasn't around, so
right. So Bill just kind of got in people's minds, literally.
Yeah.
And then they wanted more of him.
But yeah, kind of like looking through the fics for a show that's mostly about young people, for young people. There seemed to be a lot of shipping of old men.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like the Ford stand, Fiddleford, like kind of put them together, shake them up.
What is it about just men, putting men together in relationships? Yeah. We love it.
Yep. So I thought that was kind of fun. Good for you.
And one of the things that I saw while digging through is that the top, or like one of a highly praised fics, is called Monkey Wrench, and it has over 300,000 words now, and it is like one of the top Billford fanfics by views and kudos, and it's actually so popular that it inspires its own fan art and animations of like people creating art to go with the story and like animating pieces of it. So that's pretty big. I if I did that in my life, I would be like, I made it. I did something worthwhile.
Yeah, you touched these people, or impacted, moved them. Right? So that's art.
That is. That's what I think this fan stuff is so cool. Because a lot of these people wouldn't have a medium to create, like, wouldn't have a channel for this kind of stuff. So, yay.
Very cool.
And of course, another piece of fan creations is fan edits. And they need good music. And so if I was going to be making a fan edit, the song that I would pick for this couple, which one of these days I'm just going to start making fan edits. I always say I'm going to start doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm like, I'm going to make the fan edits if I can figure out how. And then I can post them because that's like, that's my medium right there. But the song that I would pick is My Strange Addiction by Billie Eilish. And I listened to a lot of songs for this, and I tried to make a lot of songs work. I found a playlist from the Billford subreddit that had not one, but 2 They Might Be Giants songs on it. And I really wanted to pick a They Might Be Giant song because it's like funny and sciencey and kooky. Then it just, I don't know, did not hit for me as much as this one. Again, I saw it associated with the fan edit, so I feel like I need that. It cements it in. But the reason I like this song, outside of like, you have to get past the weird Office excerpts in it from Michael Scott's movie, but there are some really good ones in here. And Emily, you might know this one, you might not know it, but the opening bit is pretty famous. Is like a pretty famous sound for TikTok and Reels. Don't ask questions you don't want to know. Does that ring any bells?
Let me pull it up. But I do like Billie Eilish, so I feel like I might have heard this. Yeah, and this album.
Yeah, it kind of sounds spooky. You know, everything she does sounds spooky.
I think I have heard that. That sounds familiar. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I don't think I had heard that, but I like
really
it.
Well, it is a good song. And the Office parts are weird. I don't know why they're in there. But like the refrain, bad news, one of us is going to lose. I'm the powder, you're the fuse. Just add some friction. Like, I thought that was kind of fitting. Like, also, my doctors can't explain my symptoms or my pain, but you're my strange addiction. Like, that kind of fits, right? Like, they can't quit each other. Like, and then
I was trying to think like what perspective is it, and it kind of works for both.
It does. The one piece here that I think is the bridge that I thought fit Bill's well was, can't you tell that I'm crass? Can't you tell that I'm wired? You know, tell me nothing lasts. I don't know. You could kiss my asking about my motto. I don't know what that is. Like, just like the weird wired crass. Like, I don't know. That kind of fits him. But it was just, I thought it was kind of a spooky sound. I thought it was like kind of dark and twisted, which fits the ship. Maybe not the show as much. Like, the show is more kind of fun and like lighthearted. But I felt like this fits the direction that the fans have taken the ship. If you guys have any ideas of what songs should be on there instead, please send them to our email at shiphappenssisters@gmail.com or leave them in the comments. I feel like maybe at the end of the year we can make a playlist of all the songs. There's plenty of Billford playlist out there too, so there's lots of good songs that fit. And now it's time for us to do our one true pairing score to see how Billford ranks among all the other couples that we cover. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
And listeners, if you want to play along, the link is in the show notes. You can click it and take the survey along with us.
Let's see what our OTP score is. Do we see it?
Do we see it? Yes. Because of the book. If it was just the show, I don't think I would. Mm-hmm. But the book is it's there. Do you want to see?
I think the book really fleshed out the relationship before.
Yes.
That made it extra juicy.
It definitely added some juice. Do we want to see more?
Ooh.
I'm going to write NAFAM, I'm good. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, the fix that I was reading is I just don't want to see Bill in a little twink form. I feel like I exhausted it.
I'd say I check out a fic or two. It's almost up to can't get enough. It is the triangle aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I don't know. I can't quite get. Yeah. I don't know if the triangle. I can't get all the way there, but I would. I guess I do find the dynamic interesting.
The dynamic is interesting. That
entertaining.
Yes, and I just I don't know how. You have to play it out. You have to jump too much into AU, and that kind of loses me. But
see, I think that's what I want to see it as. I don't know if I want it in. Right, because I don't want him to be a triangle.
Maybe.
But yeah,
you have to
swoon factor. Oh, how do we do this? Because it's right, they're not no swoon in the present day, but kind of swoony before.
Yeah, in the story. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to write no romance to be found. Except, do I see it? Yes. Is there, well, none of it's romantic. It's obsession. It's it's not a swoon, oh my God, he really cares about him. It's
I'll put it at just the fling, because it kind of was fling, hot but fast.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
Chemistry factor.
4 chilies.
I think kind of chemistry. I don't know. Is that bad?
No, that's what I was saying. I put 4.
I put up the top.
Oh, wow.
5 chili peppers.
Yeah, that's what, that's what makes it have chemistry is the toxicity,
right.
Is the danger.
Not good, but yeah.
Would they be good together?
Toxic AF.
Yes.
See, I thought you balance it out. Is the story interesting?
I say it's you should go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at a tell my friends about it. I think I would talk about it if it came up, if I felt like someone would dig it.
I'm going to write a solid story because I can appreciate it for what it is, but I have tried to watch it before and I never told anybody about it. So I feel
I'm glad I watched it. That was a fun,
Yeah, no, it was cute. I wish I had more time to watch it, but it's not I'd be like, oh my God, Emily, I just saw this awesome show. You should watch it. It would be something I stumbled upon and I was like,
So I got a 55.
I got my lowest score yet, 35. And I was harsh on Billford. I haven't taken a survey in a couple weeks. So now I'm yes, grade hard. That's my lowest one, I know, we need ever.
It is the lowest. Potentially, even before we did the survey, that wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't 1 out of 6 billion or whatever.
Okay, well, let us know what you think about the couple. Fill out the survey in the link in the show notes. So I think that puts a nice little top hat on the topic, the ship of Billford. You guys know enough to be dangerous now. If you didn't know anything about it walking in, you do now. And we hope you had fun along the way. If you enjoyed the episode, leave us a rating or review on wherever you're getting your podcast. 5 stars preferably, but do what feels right. You can always send us ships you are interested in learning more about or that you want us to learn more about so that we can talk about it with you. Send them to shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. Put them in the comments. We are scraping the bathroom walls for ideas. So we want to know what you guys want to know about. And as always, we will be right back here in another 2 weeks because we're always in deep ship. But there's a book that I'm trying to finish out. And cut this out. It's not relevant at all. And you have such a good transition. But the ship of the week that I have this week, I'm reading The Lost World, which is the sequel to Jurassic Park. And I am shipping Dr. Ian Malcolm with just shutting the fuck up.